Hey guys, Draw Shark Reviews here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Rise of the Beast Deluxe Class Cheetor. So, here he is in his Cheetah mode, and yeah, so this is the first mainline Deluxe in the Studio Series, not Studio Series, Rise of the Beast mainline, because the other ones we've gotten were from Studio Series, but this is separate from that. So basically the mainline figures, I mean, they're not really anything new. They're of course older than Studio Series itself and stuff. Because basically all they're just basically your Deluxes, Voyagers, Lears that pop up in like any RAM given line, like not just the movies, but even like TV shows and stuff. Um, but yeah, these figures, obviously, because they're mainline, they're not going to be as accurate as what we get in Studio Series, but, but it's still fun to mess around with these things, nonetheless. So, yeah, so starting off here, we got Cheetor, and yeah. Now, as you can tell, he's not quite accurate to how he appears in the movie, but, yeah, so, yeah, but it's, you can still tell it's got that similar, Rise of the Beast aesthetic with, the mechanical Cheetah with a lot of the fur and stuff. But especially going to the robot mode, you can tell this has zero, like absolutely nothing to do with the actual design from the movie. But although this may be based off of concept art and stuff. Yeah. But anyways, before we take a look at Cheetor himself, let's take a look at the packaging. Now this will be released individually, but at the moment it is in a 3-pack in the Buzzworthy Bumblebee line, along with Nightbird and Wheeljack. Now, I believe Nightbird and Wheeljack are supposed to be in the second wave, or no, wait, I forgot how it goes. And Wheeljack's gonna be the second wave. But yeah, they decided to. It must have something to do with the delay of the movie. They'll be released individually, but then I guess the copies are made when it was supposed to come out in 2022. I guess they put in these Jungle Mission 3-pack things, so. Yeah, so this is what this looks like, but there will be individual releases, so that's good. But yeah, but it is a bit more affordable just to get this, because you're paying for 3 Deluxes, but for a lesser price. So that's good. Anyways, up here you got Transformers: Rise of the Beast, Jungle Mission 3-pack. You got Cheetor, Nightbird, and Wheeljack, Buzzworthy Bumblebee. And Transformers on the top. You get little CGI renders of each of the figures. That side, nothing here. On the other side, well, just Bumblebee there, the evergreen design. And then on the back, you got all this right here. You got the obligatory product shots of Cheetor, Nightbird, and Wheeljack. And you can see all the different steps there. And yeah, there's all this down here. And that's pretty much it for the packaging. I'll still take a look at it, once I reveal Nightbird and Wheeljack, but here it is for Cheetor. so yeah. Anyways, let's get right back to Cheetor himself. And yeah, here he is in his Cheetah mode. It is a pretty good Cheetah mode for the most part. And like this figure overall is a good Cheetor figure, but it's definitely not accurate to how he appears actually in the movie. But still cool figure nonetheless. Just taking a look here at the head sculpts. Pretty good. It's a nice mechanical Cheetah head, as it should be. And yeah, unfortunately the jaw is like a different color, like the plastic they have. It's a darker color, more of an orangish yellow. And yeah, and of course you got brown here for like the mechanical bits. So it still, again, keeps in that sort of mechanical aesthetic, that they have mixed in with these Rise of the Beast designs. But they still this figure is obviously, again, not accurate to what we're actually getting in the movie, but it may have been for concept arts. All this up here. And of course his arms are sticking out, but yeah. So yeah, and then you got the tail here. This actually looks pretty cool, the paint and molding. Although the mechanical bits may be mostly for, the weapon mode, because, this tail comes out. I mean, we'll get into that in a bit, but yeah, the tail comes off and of course becomes a weapon. I mean, it's nothing new on the Cheetor figure. We've seen that basically on almost every Cheetor figure, except for probably, the Steel Series Rise of the Beast Cheetor. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for that. Now, for the articulation in the alt mode here, head does not move. Well, I guess like the unfortunately the tab connection right here isn't the best, so it's a little wobbly, so it goes up and down a bit. But officially, his jaw can open up to there, and does close, and then he does have a ball joint here at the arms, the front arms, so you can move a full 180, and you can move, because of how this all works, you can also move his arms outward that far. He does have a bend here at the elbow, and then for the hind legs, you can kick them back this far, and then the lower legs go back and forth here. And that's pretty much it for articulation. And then this gone tabbed. So yeah, not a whole lot here in the cheetah mode for articulation, but again, it's expected. It's a deluxe cheetah transformer, so hey, it's fine for what it is. So yeah, but anyways, now for the alt mode size comparisons. Here he is with the Studio Series Cheetor, and yeah, as you can see, yeah, this is more accurate to what we're getting in the movie. I mean, again, it's Studio Series. Like again, maybe this is accurate to what we could have gotten in the movie, but based on concept arts. But I will say though, this is like the better design for Cheetor. I'd say, like in terms of movies and stuff, like it just works better. But so I mean, it's not really noticeable in this mode, but it definitely will be once we get into robot mode. But again, this figure is still pretty good. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the almost size comparison. So anyways, let's get right down to the transformation of this guy. So starting off right here, well, first I'll just gotta remove the tail. And just gotta slowly, carefully remove it so you don't rip it off. Or what you could do is, to save time, just sprout the legs and then go in here, and then there you go, pull out the tail. And there's that. So what you do next, once you get this fixed, is yeah, so you just want to move outward the legs. Now there's these like slots here on the back of the thighs, and then there's like these little notches here on the back, and that's where they go into for cheetah mode. But once you put them in robot mode, you want to make sure that's disconnected and then kind of there, so that way it's not stuck or anything. So yeah, the next what you want to do is you want to bring up the arms all the way here. So it's like some weird cheetah plane thing. But yeah, but anyways, so then next what you want to do is you want to bring forward this like cheetah chest piece, panel piece here. You just want to disconnect it from there. And then next, you just want to sprout the arms. And then, yeah, for some reason they have like tabs here and they go in the slots, and they stay in there, but not too well. So yeah. Oh, and then right here is his gun. We'll take a look at that a bit later. But yeah, you can store it inside of his chest for alt mode. So I always put in there. And it does help fill in things, especially, because there's a nice hollow gap between the arms and then the, chest area here. But yeah, then next you just want to bring this all down. And then, of course, you got the tabs here and here, and then there's slots right in there, and you just want to close that all up. And then next, kind of pushing the cheetah head all the way to here, and so it should look like that. And then next, what you want to do is let's focus on the legs now. So let's straighten out the knees here, just bring down the lower legs, and then next swivel around here around the knees, a little above the knees obviously. And do the same thing here. And then next, bring back this, like all the section right here, and then rotate the cheetah leg in here, so now you can have, the robot mode foot, and then close this up, and do the same thing here. Just, bring this back right here, flip this around, and close that up. And now you got both legs done. So, next, what I want to do here, well first, the camera here, but then, yeah, what you want to do is you want to swivel here at the biceps, and then bring forward the elbows here, at the lower arms, so now you got a more normal stance right there. And then next, you just want to swivel around the head, and just bring it down to where it needs to be there, and then Then next, you just want to close in this collar section and bring it all the way to there. And then finally, just bring down the arms and kind of curve them a little, make them seem a little more natural in there. More typical Cheetor there. And just keep that back there. It doesn't tab in or anything. Per usual on Cheetor figures, it just kind of sits there. And once got that all done, there you guys have Cheetor in his robot mode. Yeah, I gotta say, it's pretty okay. It's a cool Cheetor design. I will say that. There's nothing I can really look off of, to compare this to, saying if it gets the job done. I mean, well, technically this is Rise of the Beast Cheetor, so in that regard, it immediately fails, considering its robot mode. The robot mode for Cheetor looks nothing like this, but on its own, it does have a pretty cool design. But if this was going to be used for the movie, I'm kind of glad they didn't use it because it really would not fit the movie aesthetic. But yeah, so anyways, let's take a look at the head sculpt right here. And yeah, so basically what you see here is just your basic Cheetor figure, like with a slightly more stylized design. It's not like, the actual movie Cheetor, just the basic Beast Wars Cheetor, just, with a little more details and stuff in there. But yeah, anyways, take a look at the head sculpt. It's your same old Cheetor. It's not anything different. It's just that. But cool head sculpt nonetheless. And yeah, so you got, oh yeah, for I mentioned, you got the Maximal logo up here, which I believe is accurate to the movie, because he does have, I mean, it's not that big, the head, or not the head of the Maximal logo, but it is there. So yeah. And of course, you got the arms there. You got nice metallic blue, especially here in the front of the thighs. And oh yeah, I just noticed you got some fur detail. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, yeah, this, for some reason, this figure uses like this weird kind of brown plastic or something. That is one of the few things I will say I don't really care for. Like this figure is a pretty solid figure, despite not achieving its goal of actually looking accurate. But I will say, yeah, the whole brown plastic. I mean, it looks fine for the hands and maybe on the shoulders, but not like the whole lower leg section. Because, yeah, that just looks odd. And it looks really odd in the Cheetah mode. Yeah, I forgot to bring that up. But, yeah. But anyways, so, let's take a look at back here. It's, if you've owned a Cheetor figure before, it's not really anything new. This is kind of similar to the Kingdom Cheetor in some ways. It's not, the same old at all, because, there's a lot of new stuff here. There's nothing reused from that, but it's still got some engineering techniques, especially with the legs here, that are definitely, reused somehow. But it's not the same plastic, so yeah. But yeah, so there's that. And yeah, so anyways, let's take a look at his articulation. So he does have a ball joint here at the head, so he can move side to side. And his head can move up that far. I mean, it technically needs to because transformation. His shoulders do move outwards that far, and then he does have a full 180-degree rotation, bicep swivel, and then a bend at the elbow, and you can go straight this much, due to this transformation. It has to be like this, so he sort of breaks his elbow. And yeah, so he does have a ball joint here at the wrist, so you can get some rotation there, and then also some in and outward movements. And he does have a waist swivel, legs kick up this far. Unfortunately, only back that far and then out that far. He does have a swivel just a little bit above the knee. And speaking of the knee, he does have a bend just a little over 9 degrees. And he does have ankle pivot. And then feet do move up and down. So yeah, that is it for articulation. Pretty good, I'd say. It was better than I was expecting. But yeah. What's interesting too is that this guy's got actually clawed feet. I kind of dig that. Kind of cool. But yeah, so anyways, now for his accessories. He does come with, so you got his tail right here, and this can become a tail whip, and it's the most complex conversion ever. Gee, that was so hard. So yeah, there's his tail whip. It's kind of more of like a tail blade almost, like a whip blade or something. It's kind of cool actually, kind of like new take on the tail whip, because typically the tail whips for Cheetor are just, it's just a tail as a whip, but, with this, it's still the tail whip, but it has like a blade at the end. That's kind of cool. So yeah, you can put that in his hand right here. I think the instructions, open this popped off right here. But yeah, I think what the instructions do show on there is that you can put it like this, but honestly, I think it's better and more realistic to have it like this, because, you can actually, and then it popped off. You can actually, whip his enemies and stuff, so, but so it's a bit better in that regard, but yeah, so there's that. And of course, he does come with his gun right here, so there's it right there, but it's obviously, not configured yet. You just gotta flip out this section here, the darker orangish, yellow orangish plastic, and now he got his gun. Similar to his gut gun, just not quite the same. Obviously, it's hard to get the gut detail in there because of, how this is all configured. But yeah, so it's similar to his gut gun, it's just not quite the gut gun. So yeah, you can attach that right into his hand, and now he's armed. So yeah, there's his accessories. Pretty cool, I will say, a little bit more creative than what we got in the Studio Series one. Of course, that does imply that the staff spear thing, whatever he has in the movie, is accurate to that. But, it's kind of cooler to get the more traditional Cheetor weapons with this guy, nonetheless. So yeah, there are the accessories. So yeah, but anyways, now for the robot mode size comparisons for this guy. Here he is with the Studio Series one, which obviously is a Voyager, so he's, much bigger and stuff. But yeah, I'd say in terms of, his accurate movie look, this one is definitely, the much superior one in that regard, because, it looks, just exactly mostly how he, does appear in the movie, at least from what we can tell so far. The movie doesn't come out till another couple of weeks, but from what we've seen of his design, yeah, this is actually very accurate. But that's not to say, this is a pretty cool guy, because, he is, he's pretty neat, kind of nice alternative to have, so it's not just this guy, but smaller and just not as good, so kind of cool that Hasbro, took that route to just kind of do something a bit different with this guy right here, but yeah, in terms of accuracy, this guy wins. And I'd say maybe as a figure, this guy might win, but there's some things I do kind of like on this guy, but there's some paint inconsistencies, or just overall paint design inconsistencies right there, such as his leg, but yeah, it just, kind of depends on what you like. If you want the more traditional Cheetor kind of look, then there's this guy, but then if you want the, actual accurate to the Rise of the Beast movie design, then this one, but both are pretty cool figures in, their own regards. So yeah, that is it for the robot mode size comparisons. And there you guys have my review for the Transformers Rise of the Beast Deluxe class Cheetor. And yeah, I gotta say, pretty neat figure. Not great, honestly, but he's actually kind of fun figure. Kind of blew me away in some bits too, especially with the posability and stuff, and the fun playability and good transformation. I mean, he has a mostly decent transformation, but the only problem was that the arms don't tab in that well. But besides, maybe they need thicker tabs, slightly thicker tabs, and then that would help. But yeah, I'll say it's a pretty again surprising figure, but welcoming surprise. But he's not perfect, obviously. Again, some of the color choices they gave on this guy are just a little odd, especially with the lower legs. But and of course the tabs for the arms and the Ultimo, they don't go in too well together. But besides that, he's a pretty good solid figure. And I would make the argument that he's not accurate to the movie, but again, we already got a very good accurate one thus far, which is the Studio Series one. So having this guy being something completely different, I'm all for. So pretty solid figure, fun, not perfect, actually far from perfect, but it's still pretty fun. So yeah, but anyways, guys, so yeah, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, share for more, and comment down below what you guys think of this figure. So anyways, guys, as always, till all are one.